Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I am finally going to start diving into rocks and read you everything so that it works for source generators. So this is going to, I don't know how many episodes this is going to take out or take up, I should say. It's going to be an adventure, I think, but it's going to be a good one. And I wanted to spend some time on this Labor Day weekend doing work on this. So I'm probably going to just do one recording right now. And then my wife and I are going to go off for a hike and come back later, and maybe tonight or tomorrow I will continue recording episodes on this because I'd like to make a fair amount of progress while I have a 3-day weekend. And I'm also doing a What's New in C# 9 talk, both for Quicken Loans Tech Conference, which is coming up in about 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm also doing one for Nova Code Camp, the same one. So I've got to get my material ready for that, which is all good stuff. The one thing before I get into this, and this is just a rant on my laptop here, is I'm getting increasingly frustrated with it because it's, if I'm doing any type of online chat like I did with my friends last night using Facebook Messenger, or if I've been in a Zoom meeting, something will cause the network connectivity to completely die on the machine, and it will freeze up the app that's doing the conferencing. I have no idea why. I've looked around. I'm like, do I have a virus? No, it doesn't seem like I have a virus. Do I have something set up in my firewall accidentally or what? I don't know. One of my friends said maybe it's your NIC card, but the machine back there that's from my employer, that works just fine. And they both go to a router in my office. And this one will keep, I thought it would actually bring down the router. Maybe it was the router that was the problem, but no, this one will still work. Network connectivity is just fine on that one if this one freezes. I got a whole new little router and same problem last night. So it's got to be something on this machine, and I don't know why. But I can record, I can watch videos, I can, network connectivity works just fine that way. But it's only when I'm in like a conferencing app, and it's starting to drive me a little bonkers. So as much as I don't want to go through Dell support, because I can find that's kind of an exercise in frustration, I don't really have much of a choice right now, and I might end up having to completely ship this back and have them reset the entire machine. I would like to try to see if it's whatever it is. I would hope it doesn't get to that point, but at least I got a lot of my stuff already backed up, and to get the machine back into a working state wouldn't take that long. But it is what it is, and unfortunately, I just can't. My tolerance of this is getting to be to a point of I just can't do it anymore. So, what happens if I want to start doing streaming? I have a thought of maybe actually doing coding streams and doing that as kind of a separate set of videos. What happens if I do that and it doesn't work? And I have it hang all the time. That would not be cool at all. So I have to dive into it, and it's just like, where do you even start? I have no idea. So in any event, let's move on to nicer things. So what I was thinking with this is inline mapping, and I'm having this up because I already have some stuff in place I'm going to copy paste. And I do already have a branch for this. So what I thought is I'm actually going to create a new, and it's funny because I'm now realizing that get that there. I've now realized that I inadvertently will look down sometimes on my keyboard now because I have this mic in front of me, that I'm sometimes like looking a little bit. And I have to get better about this and be able to center myself and make sure that I'm on the right place on the keyboard and move around correctly. But in any event, we are going to pick a class library. We're going to call it rocks.generators. Okay. And let that do its thing. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to say, well, yeah, we'll grab all this. We're going to eventually not have all that. Okay. We're going to do that. The assembly name is going to be rocks. We're not going to do anything with package building just yet. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Don't need that. Package. No, we don't need to publish. Nope, not that. We're also going to call this rocks. These are the most important things right now because I wanted this assembly or this project to actually end up having everything that looks like it's in rocks, because once I'm done with this, I'm actually going to, why is that project sources? Why would it do that? Whatever. I'm just going to keep that there for now. The point of why I'm doing this here, even though the project is called generators, is because once I have this set up and a corresponding test project and I think like it's all working, then I can just come in here and completely kill all this stuff and get it down to maybe like keep the performance project, the profiling one maybe, though I find this kind of weird that I have these two projects here to do those types of things. Get rid of the sketchpad, maybe, possibly. But yeah, I think then I can kind of clean all this up. So I'm going to keep it all in this project for now. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to have to do is, if I go back to the rocks project here and I go to rock, is I need to have this here, but I'm not going to have options, because the options are, a lot of them are determined by, like if I come back here, like the level, is it release or debug? Well, that's based on what your project settings are currently at. Code file, well, we're either create one or we're not. Serialization options, yeah, maybe. Caching, no, because you're just making one and that's it. Allow warnings, I might keep that one here as well. Code file directory, no. So there are two in here that I might end up keeping, but you know, I really don't need a lot of this stuff. So you know what, we're actually going to come back here and we're going to take, I don't know why I put options and it's like own. Oh, it's because of all this stuff. So you know what, let's do this. We're going to copy your options up here. We're going to go to generators. We're going to paste that in there. Okay, and then we're going to look at our rock options here. We're not going to have optimization settings. Okay, actually, we're going to take that out. We're going to take that out. Serialization settings, we're going to have. Caching options, no. String code file directory, no. Okay, and so we don't need optimization. We don't need a code file. We don't need caching. We don't need a code file directory. Okay. And then this becomes much simpler. So we get down to this and we have that. We do not have that. Okay. And then this becomes that and that. And we don't have that anymore. Okay. So much simpler to look at. Why don't you know what hash code is? Really? Huh. That's kind of surprising. But, well, maybe because I think hash code combine is in .NET Standard 2.1, maybe? That's possible. But what we can do is get around this by doing that and doing this and doing that and doing get hash code on that. Okay. So all works. Okay. And so now we have this, and we're going to have that. And, oh yeah, we're going to keep it in options. Yeah. Okay. So we have that. Okay. And then we don't need the caching options. We don't need the code file options. We don't need the serialization and warning. We don't need the optimization settings. Okay, so we have that. Cool. All right, so close all that out. Let's come back here to rocks. And the next thing we want to do is on rock itself is we want to have these two in here, okay, and be able to, well, we're not going to, there's a lot of things we're not going to do in here. We don't need to worry about is type sealed or not. is any of this, the validation I think will actually come in the generator. This is simply going to say, well, I'm going to return to you something that you can add setups on. I think that was that console app 4, which I might want to bring up in a later point. But these are kind of sort of just marker methods. So if I come up, whoops. Yeah, let's come up here. Let's go to rocks generator. We're going to say rock. Okay. And we're going to have public set a class. And then we can copy these methods here, I believe. Okay. I don't know if I really want to call this iRock anymore because, like I said, I think this is mostly going to be driven by setups or expectations. Okay. And so what I want, expectations. And then I can say generate a type of expectations like that. And that should be fine. And then we do this. Okay. Rock options. We know what that is. Okay. So what we do here is we say return new. Well, hold on. This is going to be needed when we actually generate the type. So, yeah. Didn't think about that one. What I'm going to do for now, okay, the principle of doing the simplest thing is we're just going to not think about this, and we're going to say a to-do need to eventually add rock options back in. Okay. And so right now we're just going to do new expectations of T. Okay. Yes, because we need to have the constraint on it. Okay. Okay. So that's there now. And this is fine. But the thing I really need to do here now, this is where I need to actually add in. Let's go away. This is where we need to add in something like a map to generator. So we want to have a rock generator. Okay. Where's the 10? There's the 10. Add new class. Rock generator. Okay. And so this is going to be rock generator, which implements that. You don't implement it just yet. Sure. Okay, and then we also want a, I believe we're going to want a rock, what do you call that again? Receiver. Okay. Public CO class. Okay. And the rock receiver, if I look at this, this is a iSyntax receiver. Okay, we do that. We do that. Okay. And we're going to want candidates. And candidates are going to be, in this case, a list of yeah. Well, we know we're going to need that. We know we're going to need that. Okay. So what we really need to do is have something like in here, var x is equal to a string is null or empty a, which is really stupid. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to actually see here, this is a method invocation, right? So it's an invocation expression. That's what we want, invocation expression syntax. Okay. All right, so we can close that out, go away. And we're going to come back here. We're going to look at this. So we're going to say if the syntax node Invocation expression syntax. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Invocation. So if it is an invocation, and now here's where it gets tricky. Invocation, text. No, not text. You're being stupid, Jason. Var a is equal to string is null or empty. A blah. Come back to syntax visualizer. And this would have an identifier. Yes, Jason, that's exactly what you were looking for. Okay, so wait a minute. This is, come on, invocation expression. The identifier is that. I believe expression dot identifier. No, of course not. You would not have that. What is this? This is an invocation expression. Okay. And joy. I believe what we're really looking for is, because it has an argument list, it has a simple member access expression. I think let's go with is simple X. What the simple member? Oh, is this like one of those private typey things? Simple member access. Okay, member access expression syntax. Access and access dot ident. Why is this so? You'd really like things to be member access expression. What does that actually turn out to be? The name. Oh, fine. So we can say name is equal to name of rock.create. Except you can't do that because name of doesn't understand what you do with generics. You can't do this because, it just won't let you do that. You actually have to put in int and then you actually get back, oh yeah, that's what you really meant. Because reasons, of course. Name is not symbol named text. Value, I hate you, identifier, text. There we go. Okay. And what don't you like here? Type parameters are not allowed on a method group as an argument to name of. Of course it wouldn't. But of course I can't do this. Oh, really? Wow, that's actually kind of surprising. I didn't think you could do that. Okay, well, learn something new every day. I honestly thought that name of, if you had a generic, that it actually required you to put the generic in there. Oh, well, maybe they changed that, or maybe I was completely wrong all the time. Okay, so if the name is that, but what about this? Would the invocation would be on the predefined, well, access dot, the node that contains this node, well, that doesn't help. The operator token would be that. Predefined type syntax, yeah. What happens if I said rock.create int here? Okay. We did that. Fine. String, whatever. Okay, so now in this case, it's an invocation expression with a simple member access expression, and that contains an identifier name, a dot token, a generic name, which also has an identifier token. Okay. So this just keeps getting better, doesn't it? Because there is no such thing as simple member. Yeah, that's got to be probably a type that doesn't really... Is there an easier way to invocation dot... Like this is an invocation, right? So it has an argument list, which we don't care about, but then like what can you actually determine from this? Just an expression? Yeah, just an expression syntax, which really doesn't help much. Class which represents the syntax node for invocation expressions. Yay, thank you. The expression. It would have to be, this is a simple member access expression. This would have the name, the operator token is the dot, and the expression is rock, because the expression, let's make sure we're looking at the right thing here. Your identifier name. So this has the expression, which it doesn't tell you what this is, because of course it can't. It would have to be an identifier name, right? So if the expression is an identifier name, expression is identifier name, and the generic name, and the name is generic name, because it has to be these two things in our case. Okay. So what we did here, we did access.expression is identifier name syntax. Identify. Access identifier and access identifier dot text name. Oh my God. Text. It's equal to name of rock. Okay. We'll put that in parentheses. And fine, whatever. Access dot name is generic name syntax. Access name and access name dot identifier text is equal to that. Okay, we can get rid of the parentheses here. Wait, because you're telling me I've got, yeah. So if we have an invocation expression, and the invocation expression's expression is a member access expression, access, and access's expression is an identifier name, and that is equal to rock, and we have the actual name as being a generic name syntax, and the identifier text is create. Then we have a candidate. This dot candidates dot add syntax node, because that's what we actually do over here. Right. I mean, it's invocation. There we go. And it's just that simple. It's just, it took me a whole episode to get to writing how many lines of code? 25. Well, I did a little bit more than that, but yeah. So, yay. I could test this. We could test this, right? We could, wait. There we go. Add new project. Console app, whatever. Doesn't matter because we're going to change it. Rocks.generators.tests. Okay. And then we come over to here to inline mapping. We don't want integration tests just yet. We want to have just tests. Okay. So we're going to do this. Grab all that. Come back over here. Do this with the stuff. take out the space because I'm picky. And this is going to be rocks.generators.tests. No, the assembly, no. Do not do that. Okay. And we're going to be including rocks.generators. That, we're going to be, including all that. And that should be good. Okay. And then what we could do here, get rid of program, yes, add that, and we can do rock receiver tests, right? So we can have a public static class here. If we look at what we did over here, match receiver tests, copy all that because we're going to need it. And we're going to say find candidates, that. Okay. When invocation is rock create. Let's do the happy path. Okay. So, rock.create int var setups. Is it really going to be this smart? We're going to find out, right? Rock receiver. And we should see that we found is equal to 1. Okay. That's all I'm going to do for right now. Okay. So let's see if we run this and what happens. One failed. Of course one failed. Why would have it failed? Come on. Give me the Cody thing here. Why aren't you doing that? You jerk. So why did you fail? Sequence contains no elements. Oh, of course. Invocation expression syntax. That's going to fix everything. It found it. It found it. And I'm going to stop on here. I'm going to commit this work I did in the branch because this is actually a decent start. We got a win, which is we can identify that we did an invocation expression. Of course, I want to make sure that I'm finding things that are not the thing that we're trying to find. But this is a good start. So I'm going to commit, and my wife and I are going to go do a nice hike, come back this afternoon, take a shower, and maybe get back to doing a couple more episodes because we got the ball rolling now. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.